From this meatball and this onion, I'm going to whip up a super unique burger from a 100-year-old recipe. Seriously, I'm not going to use any lettuce, tomato, pickles, bacon or even cheese. And here is one more kicker. We are not going to fry a single thing. This is truly the most unusual burger I have ever made. Let's dive in.
If you were to ask me about my all-time favorite dish, the answer would be straightforward. I absolutely adore burgers. That combination of flavors, a toasted brioche bun, caramelized smashed patty, sauces, lettuce, pickled cucumbers, caramelized onions and crispy bacon. I could eat them every day. But recently I stumbled upon a video titled The 100-Year-Old Onion Burger Technique You Won't Believe by Steve from Not Another Cooking Show, who I'm a huge fan of. He showcased a century-old burger recipe originating from Wisconsin, and the catch? Nothing is fried. The onion and patty are essentially boiled, no caramelization. Yep, we are talking about a boiled patty, devoid of any searing or cheesy goodness. From my experience, boiled dishes often lack that punch of flavor. Growing up, my mom would cook a bean soup with tiny meatballs, and that was the only time I'd enjoy beef not fried. And also, I have an undying love for caramelized onions. I always have a stash in my fridge, enhancing any dish instantly. However, the original recipe calls for braised and not caramelized onions. Honestly, I was quite skeptical about this recipe and nearly forgot about it, but YouTube, being a sly recommender, suggested a video by Guga, which I'm also a big fan of, featuring the very same burger, referencing Steve. And as the tradition goes, they taste tested the burger at the end and it was a hit. That's when I realized I needed to give this a shot. I feel like Guga and I share a similar palate. I admire his burgers and his steak recipes. So today we are attempting this unique burger, but just to keep things interesting, I will also be crafting a second burger with a personal twist. Let's see how they both turn out.
Alright, let's dive in. First, we need to get our ingredients ready for both the classic and my personalized burger versions. Starting off with the star of the show, our patties. We're going for chuck roll here. It's top tier with a perfect balance of fat and protein. Just look at that marbling. And for those looking to save some time, pre-packaged ground beef will do. But today we're aiming for the authentic experience, so we cube our chuck roll and pass it through the meat grinder. Shape these into balls, each weighing around 150 grams, and don't press them too tightly. Now the onions. We need to slice them super thin, ensuring they soften beautifully during cooking. Given that we are preparing both the classic and my variant, we are going to need a good amount. I'm thinking of 5 onions for 4 burgers should do the trick. I have always enjoyed trying new recipes, often finding myself buying some new kitchen gadget. For this recipe I finally got myself a mandolin slicer. Of course, a knife works well too, but I like to step things up when I can. So to recap, sliced onions, meatballs, water, burger buns. That's it. Those are all our ingredients. What were you expecting? A magic potion? Remember, simplicity often is the best approach. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering about any special ingredient for the personalized version, stay tuned. Alright, here we go. Grab a large skillet, making sure it is spacious enough to accommodate both the onions and our meatballs. Place the onions in first. Remember, we are not using any oil here. Once they start turning translucent, pour in a cup of water. The aim here is to evaporate the liquid, ending up with a kind of onion broth. The original recipe doesn't really call for caramelizing onions. Steve doesn't caramelize his onions either. Guga, on the other hand, goes for the caramelized touch. Maybe that's why he enjoyed the burger so much. Push the onions to the side and throw in the meatballs. Flatten them slightly, but don't try to smash them into super thin patties. Aim for something resembling the bun size. Sprinkle some salt over them. Pour in another cup of water. Once the edges of the patties change color, which should take around 5-7 minutes, flip them over and season again. Let them cook for another 3-5 minutes, then pile all the onions on top of the patties, allowing the meat to soak up all that oniony goodness and broth. Turn off the stove and let them rest a bit on the skillet. Now for the bun. In keeping with the original recipe, we won't be toasting it, but hey, we can at least add some sauces. For the bottom part, slather on some horseradish, while the top gets a mix of ketchup and mustard. Place your patty layered with onions on the bottom bun, cover it with the top bun, and there you have it.
Alrighty, our boiled burger is ready and I'm ready to take a bite. This is genuinely delicious. I'm fully on board with Guga here. Missing the sear crust or cheese isn't a deal breaker. Such a unique experience, and honestly I was doubting how good it would taste up until now. That onion broth truly worked wonders. The patty is soaked through with it. There is even a subtle sweetness to the patty. Now I want to level up this burger, twist a few things and make it even tastier.
First things first, let's give those buns a touch of golden crispiness. Light brush with some melted butter beforehand can add that luscious sheen and an extra layer of flavor. This simple step can genuinely transform the overall burger experience. For the toppings, a burger is incomplete without the tangy crunch of pickles. Their salty profile harmonizes with the rich flavors we are building here. And bacon, crispy fried bacon to be precise. After all, who can resist bacon? Here is an exciting bit, the cheese sauce. Often when preparing a cheese sauce, you will encounter two primary challenges. First, a film develops on the surface as it cools, and second, it tends to thicken, becoming lumpy. It is a sauce that traditionally demands immediate use after preparation. However, after some research and learning from fellow food bloggers, I discovered an ingredient that can change the game. So let's make it. Prepare 1 cup of water, shred 2 cups of cheddar cheese, and game-changer ingredient, sodium citrate. Sodium citrate, often used in molecular gastronomy, acts as an emulsifier. It allows the cheese to melt smoothly without becoming gritty. We need 2 teaspoons of it. In a saucepan, mix water and sodium citrate over medium heat until dissolved. Reduce the heat to low, gradually add the cheese and whisk continuously. When you have a glossy, velvety texture, remove from heat. The best part, the sauce retains its perfect consistency even after cooling. So there is no rush. Back to our burger's heart, the onion and patty. This version calls for a slightly caramelized onion layer. Thinly slice the onions and saute them until they achieve a golden hue. This caramelized touch introduces a sweet depth, balancing the salty toppings. Just as with our original, add water, let it reduce and then place the beef patty. The methodology ensures the patty's signature juiciness remains untouched. Assembly time. Start with the bottom bun, spread some sharp horseradish for a kick, then pour a generous amount of the cheese sauce. Place the beef patty, followed by caramelized onions and cheese sauce again. Then bacon and pickles. For the top bun, a classic blend of ketchup and mustard seals the deal. Alright, our upgraded boiled burger is set. If the original was a hit, this one got to be even better, right? Taking the first bite. Oh yeah, baby. This is absolutely divine. That cheese sauce is a game changer. It goes so well with the caramelized onions and the patty is just as juicy as before. The little kick from the horseradish mixed with the ketchup and mustard is just spot on. And you can go wrong with some crispy bacon and pickles, right? All in all, this is a burger I would happily eat again and again. So we have tried the original 100-year-old steamed burger and then we went all out with our gourmet version. Which one do I prefer? Without a doubt, the gourmet version steals the show for me. The addition of the cheese sauce, especially with that game-changing sodium citrate, elevates the burger to new heights, and the caramelized onions, it adds a sweet complexity that the original was missing. Not to mention crispy bacon and pickles bring in that much needed texture and crunch. However, there is always room for improvement, and next time I'm considering adding some jalapenos or pickled red onions to give it an extra kick. And I'm also curious about adding different kinds of cheese to the sauce to create a multi-cheese blend that could add another dimension to the burger. This has been quite a unique burger adventure. If you enjoyed this, I recommend checking out another video where I make 20 different sandwiches. It's a must watch. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more culinary journeys. Peace.